Hey, Gotchi gang. Hey, friends. Ooh, what do we have here? Gotchi Emperor. Roxanne looking fly.
Yeah, got the ranger suit on.
I think I need to get into costume soon as well.
Wow, this is gonna be awesome, guys. I can already tell this is not your average Saturday hangout. There's some awesome avatars here.
Good morning, everybody. It is I, Sus Butterfly.
GM.
Morning. From the Gotchi Ranger.
It is I, the Great Liquidator.
Ho ho.
All hail.
Oh, nice, nice.
So we'll be heading into this here in a little bit, and for those wondering,
And the alpha we got today, guys.
yeah, we'll get the alpha out of the way first. Let's see, the first pilot screenplay from Friendless Summer that you guys we were able to get like executed and performed. That was like 2.5 months ago, at least. All right. So I'm very curious where the sequel goes here.
I just read it. It was amazing.
Nice, nice. You guys we'll have to get like a Greek amphitheater or something in the Gotchiverse, and then you can charge tickets for Gotchis to attend these.
Good morning.
Good morning, good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Oh man, look at these avatars coming in.
Good morning. Okay, I can hear you.
That is a big brain on your head, Hefe. Your Gotchi's head.
He has a big
Ooh.
headache to go with that big brain.
The second adept.
The second adept. I'm excited. This is gonna be fun.
So Dan got a new avatar.
Yes.
He's the
Indeed.
great liquidator.
Okay, that's what I thought. Looks good.
Just want to make. I was having troubles with my live stream this morning, so I was trying to figure that out. I think it's good now, though.
Nice.
Oh, Friendless Summer. Here we go, got
Hey,
the whole
everyone.
cast. Hello,
Yeah, looks like
hello.
we're filing in here.
The cast is filing in. Oh yeah, we got Mike Callum. He's the fourth adept, otherwise known as the potions master.
Getting in my vibe this morning.
With those
And
big
Gotchi
green
Emperor
eyes.
playing the Ranger. That's nice. That's a new character.
Yeah, dope. Ben Legan did a dope job on all of them that he added in just a few minutes.
Yeah, they're all so nice. Love them all.
Who's playing Rothulus? Rothulus?
Well,
I'll just croak accordingly, or
Yes.
try to.
Is it, how do you pronounce it? Rothulus or I like Rothulus actually. I think it's
Rothulus.
Rothulus?
I like
Okay,
it.
I'll try to do it that way. I might slip up though.
Sir Rothulus.
And I think we'll have we're gonna have Ryder Nazrin reprise her role as the Ninth Adept. I think she'll be sliding in here pretty soon. She knows what we're gonna start at about the half-hour mark, so she'll be along
Okay.
shortly as well.
Yeah. So Friendless Summer, I guess for people that maybe are, maybe they didn't catch the first one, do you want to maybe just give a quick breakdown of what the Nine Adepts is all about? Just a basic storyline there.
Yeah, so as a series, the Nine Adepts sort of shows both the events leading up to the first Liquidator invasion and what happens sort of immediately after the Liquidator invasion. So it's sort of told in two timelines. And the flashback timeline is when the Gotchiverse is very utopic. There have been no invaders. It's peaceful and tranquil. Everyone loves each other. And this is, of course, back when the Gotchis actually worshipped the Liquidators as their creators, almost their gods. So we see them in the pilot. They take counsel with the Great Liquidator, who's, of course, there in the ether realm. But the third adept notices in their conversation that the Great Liquidator is acting a little bit strange, but they can't quite put their finger on what's going on. And of course, the others, never think that the Great Liquidator would ever do anything to betray them. And also in that flashback timeline, the Ninth Adept has just recently been recruited, and she's preparing for her initiation. But she has some issues conjuring her spirit force, and it's causing everyone to doubt her. And then in the more present-day storyline, post-invasion, we just see that the Adepts are all scrambling because the Liquidators have just invaded, and they're headed toward the Citadel.
Wow, that's yeah, that goes pretty deep, right? There's layers to that.
I could just keep listening.
Can you tell us about the Great Tree of Fud or something like that? He's like, I warned you, or I told you so.
Yeah, that's we're gonna meet the Tree of Fud more.
Spoilers Harambe.
Because they have to, of course, receive the prophecy from him, and so yeah, he's lurking there, waiting to impart his wisdom in the dark forest.
Yeah, we need to get someone to play that Tree of Fud. I wonder who can play that when that time comes around.
I'm pushing for Nian Kong.
There you go. Yeah.
That'd be really good. Except sometimes
We have
makes him have like
yeah.
helium voice.
I told you so.
The tree has a lot of different sort of faces, right? At least that's how it looks in some of the in the pictures. So the helium voice could be just one of the faces of FUD.
I like that.
Do we have all the adepts as characters yet in this episode too, or are we still missing a couple of them?
We're still there's one that has not been fully introduced yet. I guess that's a bit of alpha. He's sort of he's a bit of a detective. He's almost the internal affairs of the adepts. So he just tries to make sure everything's going smoothly within the circle of adepts. So he's going to have some investigating to do in a later episode.
Gotchi Sherlock.
Exactly.
Hey, Ryder.
Ryder, hey.
There we go. Hello, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing great.
It's nice seeing so many PFPs up here with Bin Laden's artwork.
Yeah, this is dope. I love these.
We actually have Ben Lagan as one of the characters, right?
That's right. He is taking the role of the 8th adept today.
I'm really impressed at how well he drew those PFPs for the new characters.
Yeah, and so quickly too. We were in the rehearsal space server, and it was just like one after another, boom, 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 boom. Like he did them all so quickly, and they're all, stunning.
Yeah, Roxiano's the sus butterfly, looking curvy.
Thanks.
Nice.
Yes. Yes, I do enjoy this artwork, yes.
And so, for in the summer, I guess we can talk about maybe kind of what your general vision is for the project of the Nine Adepts. This started out basically as an idea, and then we got a bunch of people on board to help play the characters. But there's a bigger vision for this, right? Beyond the screenplays that we're doing right now.
Yes, well, basically the overall concept is to create a 10 episode, either, depending on the scale and scope, either web series or try to, build a team around this and take it to Hollywood and perhaps take it somewhere larger to utilize the IP there on perhaps a streaming service or something. Those are sort of decisions to be made as we continue. But yeah, the idea for this is it's a 10 episode limited series, one episode for each adept, and then a very special episode that features the Great Liquidator and his motivations for invading the Gotchiverse.
Yeah, so this is going to be, and also partially some of this has been funded by our DTF, right? Just to get things going.
Yeah, the DTF has been great in working with us here and getting a grant secured. We just have a few T's to cross and I's to dot, and we'll be able to get going on a trailer as our sort of first foray into this. So we can, which of course will be animated by Bin Laden, so we can see these characters in action in a bit of a 60-second teaser.
Oh, that's gonna be really cool. I look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean it's really exciting how this has come together and how people have rallied behind it, and the team we put together I think is really exciting.
I really feel like it's another level of user-generated content. I haven't seen this in other projects yet, or I don't even know if we'll see that.
Not at this quality. Like I saw the Bored Apes did something like really cringy series. This is like definitely several levels above it. It's just the content of it.
Did you hear that Seth Green was trying to do an animated series
Yeah.
with his Bored Ape, but it got stolen in a phishing attack, so they couldn't move forward with the series? Crazy.
Yeah.
So I think we have most of our cast here. Who are we missing? Laura as Daisy, I think. Is she in here?
She just showed
No,
up.
there she is. There she is.
Yep,
And
I'm here. Hey guys.
Good morning.
Now what time is it, Laura?
It is 12 past 10, so getting late for me.
The commitment is strong.
Yeah, staying up late tonight.
You must be in like the west side. Is it Australia or? Because it's usually Aussies are like 12 p.m. at this time or like midnight, but it's only 10.
It is midnight back in Australia, but I'm overseas at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I took a break from van life.
Oh.
Strange.
Just touring,
It is 10
touring
a.m.
Asia.
Yeah, I am actually. I'm in Bali.
Oh,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
been wanting to go
Doing a
there
lot of
again.
surfing.
Yeah, doing a lot of surfing. Not today though. I didn't surf today, but yeah, the weather's much different though. Over here, it's been so hot, so I've been having siestas in the middle of the day.
Yeah, that island life, it'll gets warm for sure. It'll knock you out in the middle of the day.
Go to bed early.
Gotta take naps.
Lots of naps.
Webb, you're out on the beach right now, aren't you?
No, I'm actually inside right now. I'm not at home, but I will be going to the beach later today.
Have you guys been tossing your tickets into the raffle yet? This decorations raffle.
Oh yeah, you know I have. I can't get enough of those tickets.
I'm loving that Fireball app where you put in the number of tickets that you've entered. It shows you your chance of winning.
I was looking for that. Where is it?
It's fireball.gg. I'll send you the link, or I can post it in the chat.
There's so many tools.
It's making me want to get more tickets.
It's in the tools, ain't it?
Yeah, it's on the main site in the tools section.
Yeah, I'm looking at the. Is that so for fireball.gg? Is that tool up and running yet? Is it all ready to go for this raffle while it's going? I should check my odds.
Yeah, I believe so. They announced on Thursday that it was.
What did
Globe.
What did everybody decide to enter?
I have not entered mine yet, but
Same here.
probably myths and godlikes for me. I need some green and pink on my parcel.
I've got one godlike.
I was thinking myths myself.
I just want to get as many raffle gnomes as I can, like on my parcels. I'm going for commons. So like cover the whole thing in raffle gnome.
I had a feeling someone might do that.
Have a little gnome forest.
I really like the globe. Of course, the lava lamp is nice, but something about that globe.
Yeah, I like the globe too. And the flowers.
Golden Cross just dropped a tweet here. XP event incoming. Join us for a raffle reveal party and earn 10 XP for your Gotchi gang. So that'll be tomorrow. There's going to be a lot going on tomorrow. We'll have the raffle reveal party at 2 p.m. UTC, and then that'll probably last for 20-30 minutes, and then we'll go right into the DAO hangout and go over all the different DAO items that are on the schedule.
Nice. I like that combo.
Are we doing the land auction the last weekend, or have you guys decided?
Yeah, should have an announcement going out pretty soon on that. The DAO voted to have it.
Very good.
So I think we're down to do it.
Friendless Summer, does everyone's audio up here before we do get started? We'll probably get started in like 10 minutes or so, I think, right? Is everyone's audio up here all right? Does anyone need to make any adjustments?
It sounds pretty good to me. What ZombieShepherd, you're a sound guy. What do you think? Is everyone sounding okay, levels wise, sound wise?
Check. Everybody just say something.
Check.
Testing.
Check, testing.
Hello.
Do we go one at a time? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, everybody sounds pretty good. I don't hear any big issues.
Cool. Testing.
Bin Laden coming up here.
Mic check.
Can't miss
Mic
Bin Laden.
check.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
Hey, good morning.
Is there anyone in Hollywood named Mike Check?
There has to be, right?
I've never heard that, and like that feels like a Mel Brooks gag, having a character in the movie called Mike Check.
Or how about just the name Hollywood? I'm sure there's lots of those.
Yeah, I never thought of that before, but yeah.
You never see an actor named Hollywood, though.
It's too on the nose. They would use an alias. We would never find out.
You're absolutely right. They changed their names. They hide in plain sight.
That was Dr. Seuss's like birth name.
It's nice to have people from all around the world just sitting right here about to do a screen, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing actually. I was just thinking about that. We got people literally from all around the world sitting up here, all come together to do the screenplay. So I think it's unique.
Probably a nice twist for the hangout.
I think Dr. Wagamy was at work or something.
Yeah, he actually had a wedding this weekend.
Okay.
His sister's getting married.
Very nice.
So now I've told everyone.
That would be a kind of a giveaway if somebody wanted to find him. You would have to go through lots of weddings.
Oh yeah, seriously, this is like wedding peak season.
Yeah.
It's hard to get 10 people together to do anything at like one specific time. It's like, especially when everyone's like an adult and has like responsibilities and everything. It's like overlapping schedules.
Most of us have responsibilities. I don't know about all of us. But it is weird how everybody's all around the world with different time zones. And, you know, people are tired or people are just getting up or, you know, I mean, it could be the middle of the night for all anybody knows, you know?
Oh, we got Seshbot in the GMI server. Shout out to OXZFi and some of the other members who figured this out. But we have like these tools now that really do help with a lot of this scheduling conflict stuff. I have a hard time tracking the time zones, so I can like literally just convert it right there in the server when someone mentions time zone for an event. It's kind of nice. Saved me a couple times already.
It's like Bin Laden's got his hand up in the audience.
Oh, I thought we brought him up. Did he?
Yeah, I think he dropped off or something.
Oh, okay. Come on up, sir.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Back.
You guys hear me? I think I left by accident. I'm trying to put it on speakerphone, but it's not working. So I'll be trying to figure that out.
You've been lagging.
Great job on all the artwork, Bin Laden. I'm a big fan of the farmer Gotchi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. By the way, guys, I can barely hear you right now because I'm trying to figure out this speakerphone thing. So just give me a minute and I'll be right with you guys.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, no worries. It's all good. People still piling in. We got 78 people in here though. It's pretty cool. I mean, if you think about it, right? If we were on stage at a real theater right now and you saw 78 people in the audience, that would be a pretty good show.
I have paid for shows with a lot less.
Yeah, I can definitely admit to that too.
Sometimes the smaller the audience, the nicer.
I agree.
All right, all good now.
Intimate.
What's up, guys?
Great work
Hey,
with
you can
the
hear
art.
us okay?
Thank you.
I love my Gotchi Ranger.
Yeah, the Ranger turned out pretty nice. I love the sus butterfly. Looks really sus to me.
Yes, it's very sus.
Very sus.
I think the Gotchi Ranger needs a sus butterfly on the shoulder.
Yeah, First Adept is totally my vibe. This is like me all the time.
feel like the Ranger probably would have like a raffle, like a common raffle or something.
Is the sus butterfly not very tough?
A little bit of his pay grade.
I'll blind him with the sus glow or something.
So who's playing first? Is no future here, or is he swapping out for someone else?
Yeah, I'm playing first.
Who's on second?
Mr. Hefe.
I'm
Hefe.
second, sir.
Who's first? Is that Webb or is that Anthony?
Anthony.
Anthony. Cool.
I'm third. Lucky number 3.
I did like your Liquidator impression last night, but I am looking forward to Coder Dan's today.
Yeah, I mean he was the OG. I don't think I did as good as Dan, but it was definitely fun to be creepy for like one session.
Yeah, Dad's Great Liquidator was great. Yeah, a little bit of a British accent too, if I remember correctly.
So, yeah, it's the what do they call it? Like the transcontinental accent. Not quite British, but not quite American. Somewhere in between. Yeah.
The
40s,
well-traveled
50s
Liquidator.
Hollywood accent.
Yeah, the broadcaster voice.
Yeah. Freaks.
We'll get started here shortly, I guess.
Yeah, let's give it 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Kick it off. Yeah, you guys, who here is going to NYC? They're talking a little bit about the party here.
Well, I wish I could go. I can't go this year. Maybe next year, though.
I'm gonna try and go specifically to the party. I'm not gonna be able to go to NFT NYC because I didn't get a ticket. But
yeah.
But yeah, I got relatives right up there, so
definitely.
I'll be at the rooftop.
Rooftop's where the alpha's going to be anyway, so don't really need to pay for
Someone
the
will need to live
ticket.
stream it for us.
oh man, you got to talk to No Future.
Yeah, I've never been there before, so I'm gonna definitely check out New York too.
Really, what part of US are you from?
Like the Midwest, Michigan.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I
Got the
live in New
mitten.
York State, but never been to New York City.
Yeah, see, I mean, you can be so close but so far away.
Yeah.
Hey, Roxiana, you're like on the East Coast. You've never been to NYC?
No, for some reason I have not.
Yeah, it's a bit unusual. I feel like that, like all the school
really
trips
is.
and everything, like make sure to go there.
Not my school, but yeah.
I'd never been there until I went to Pittsburgh for college, and then even then, I think I took one trip to NYC. And then, yeah, I've only been there once. It's like it's not something you necessarily will go to unless you have like a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm excited.
Hefe, I was looking for a link to drop in the chat real quick for your Third Adept project that you recently wrapped up here. I wanted to share that.
Oh yes. Actually, I can drop the image of it pretty easily here without looking for it. I can drop a picture of that. Yeah, this is the badge that we made for Gitcoin Grant, around 12 and 13 contributors. So we gave these out. We have a bunch too for GMI that we'll probably, we'll give some away. So gotta figure out how we're gonna do that. But we might give some away here. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. You caught me off guard. I don't know.
I couldn't talk. I was coughing.
Yeah, there's going to be, I mean, there's 9 adepts in total, so there'll be 9 of these badges. We'll give them away different ways. And,
God forbid if you get a complete set, because I wasn't able to be a contributor as the grant producer. I couldn't contribute to 12 or 13 for the Gitcoin, so I didn't end up with one of these. And so even I'm at odds right now to get a complete set of all 9 adepts.
Yeah, because I tried to contribute and I can't since you added me.
See, yeah, Hardcore's already got one, and so I'm going to be paying attention to how we distribute these extra 39 units that we have, because I need one of these dang things.
yeah, we could do some giveaways or something.
Which one is that for? For round 14?
No, this is if you contributed to the GMI grant that we had for rounds 12 and 13. We're live now in 14 as well, but yeah, that's for our folks that were doing it before we were even put together.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Well, I feel like I'm in the mood for some community theater.
It's about time.
I'm up for it.
Let's get espionized.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Get ready to kill it. Break a leg.
All right, here we go. The Nine Adepts, Episode 2, The Second Adept, written by Friendless Summer. Black. Screaming, wailing, chaos. Exterior, Alpha Village, night. This once peaceful village on the shore of Alpha Lake is in turmoil. Aavegotchis run screaming down the roads and barricade themselves in their lodges. A farmer Gotchi grabs his pitchfork. A miner Gotchi hefts his pickaxe, arming themselves with their tools. The farmer and miner rush toward the eastern edge of the village. We shoot past them toward Mount Oomph. The sound of countless liquidators licking in unison fills our ears as the bulbous head of the Great Liquidator comes into view, his razor-sharp teeth exposed in a twisted smile. Behind him, an endless stream of liquidators march westward past the base of the boiling volcano, their eyes fixed on the citadel beyond Alpha Village. Exterior, the Citadel, District 46, that moment. The 9 adepts are gathered atop the Citadel's eastern wall. They stare through the stronghold's force field at the liquidators approaching from the east. The 3rd adept, a USDC maxi in Yoroi armor and Kabuto helmet, storms down the ramp to the Citadel.
Archers! To the walls!
The 1st adept, an Ethereum maxi Lauzagotchi with pink Kanye eyes, turns to the 5th adept, an Abe maxi Fairy Gotchi, and her sus butterfly.
Tell the Alpha villagers to stay in their lodges. Find out how many liquidators we are dealing with.
The sus butterfly narrows her eyes at the liquidator army.
Very sus.
The 5th adept and sus butterfly leap from the wall and fly toward the liquidators. The 2nd adept, a Bitcoin maxi with galaxy brain and royal robes, trembles and rubs his brain. His eyes light up with an idea.
Great adept, sir. I must build something in District 1. An emergency measure, should the liquidators breach our walls. You see, there may be a way to...
An explanation is unnecessary, old friend. I trust you to do what is right.
2nd averts his eyes from 1st's penetrating gaze.
Thank you, old friend.
He springs to action and bolts down the ramp to the Citadel, frantically gathering every Gotchi in his path.
You there, follow me. All of you, come quickly. We have work to do.
The 8th adept, a USDT maxi with a man bun and Stanny vest, and the 9th adept, a polygon maxi with anime eyes and a llamacorn shirt, stare down at 2nd from atop the wall.
I've never seen the 2nd adept move with such haste. The bazaar must have a sale on waifu pillows.
You should have more respect for a mage of his caliber.
Master your spirit force, then talk to me about respect.
8th storms off. 9th looks back at the 2nd adept, who marches toward District 1 with a gaggle of Gotchis in tow.
Quickly now. There's no time to waste. This work must be done.
Interior, Palace of the Adepts, Great Hall, day. 1,000,000 blocks earlier. We return to the moments after the Adepts' conversation with the Great Liquidator in Episode 1. The 9 Adepts are gathered before the Palantir, a massive sphere which floats in the center of the room. They're in the midst of a heated argument.
The Liquidators created the Aavegotchis. They love us and would never lie to us. There's no cause for concern.
By the fires of Mount Oop, why don't you ever listen to me?
Enough, all of you. Return to your duties. The 9th Adept will visit with each of you in the coming days to prepare for her initiation. I expect you to teach her well.
The Adepts disperse. Second rubs his aching temples, steadies himself on his wizard staff as he lumbers to a door. The 4th Adept, a Uniswap maxi in a comfy poncho with matrix eyes, staggers over, high as fuck, with a bevy of potions in his arms.
Got a headache, Second Adept? I got a potion for that.
Not now, Potions Master.
This one fills your brain, healing bubbles. This one will make your face really relaxed.
The 2nd Adept notices a bubbling black potion in the 4th Adept's grasp.
What does that one do?
This one will get you wrecked.
No, thank you.
2nd opens the door and slogs into a hallway. 4th shrugs and gulps down the gurgling black potion. Interior, Palace of the Adepts, hallway, moments later. The 2nd Adept opens the door to his chambers. The 9th Adept edges up behind him.
2nd Adept, sir? Could I spend some time with you? I'm sure there's a wealth of knowledge in that galaxy brain I could benefit from.
You are kind, child. But I have a legendary headache. You should visit with the 3rd Adept. His training is more suitable for a gotchi of your traits.
Oh, well, alright. I hope you feel better soon.
9th trudges off. The 2nd Adept drifts into his chambers. The room is majestically decorated with luxurious furniture and elaborate pixel art. On a perch in the middle of the room sits Rolfus, a mythical Roffle with a tiny crown atop his little frog head. Rolfus croaks at 2nd.
Oh, Rolfus, your voice never fails to soothe me. I must rest. My brain feels as though it may explode.
2nd flops onto his 4-poster bed, which is covered with waifu pillows. He massages his brain, writhes around. This headache is torture. His eyes shoot open. He hears a deep, powerful voice.
Come to me. Come to me.
Rolfus, did you hear that?
Rolfus croaks and shakes his head.
You didn't? What in the Gotchiverse is happening?
Come to me.
As if pulled by some magical force, 2nd rises from the bed and drifts out of his chambers.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Rolfus raises an eyebrow, baffled by his master's behavior. Interior, Palace of the Adepts, Great Hall, moments later. The hall is empty now, dead quiet. The Palantir swirls with vibrant alchemical colors. 2nd plods into the room, stands before the Palantir. The colors within the sphere coalesce to form the face of the Great Liquidator. He smiles warmly at the 2nd Adept.
GM, 2nd Adept.
GM, oh great one. Was that your voice calling to me?
It was. I was forced to hack your brain to facilitate this private conference. Unfortunately, your headache was an unavoidable side effect. Allow me to ease your suffering.
Great Liquidator points one of his tentacles at the 2nd Adept and whispers an incantation. Red vapor seeps from 2nd's galaxy brain and evaporates into the air. He breathes a sigh of relief. The headache has left him.
Many thanks, Great Liquidator.
There is a matter of great import we must discuss. The fate of the realm depends on it. I have been observing the Aavegotchi's activity from here in the Ether realm, and I'm afraid the Gotchiverse is on the verge of collapse.
It cannot be.
The yield fields have been overfarmed. The miners have dug too deep in the caverns. The infinity cliffs could fall into the impassable sea at any moment. The very foundation of the Gotchiverse has been destabilized.
But that's impossible.
My analytics never lie.
Forgive my question, O Great One, but have you informed the first adept of this? Surely he's better suited to address any emergency of this magnitude.
It pains me to say that it was the first adept's transgressions that caused this catastrophe. He was once a great leader, but as time wore on, he became self-interested, greedy. Avarice flooded his every pixel, and he condoned this pillaging of the land to fill his own bag. No, I'm afraid the first adept can no longer be trusted.
The second adept's face falls. His ghostly heart breaks.
My oldest friend. Is there anything that can be done to save the realm?
The liquidator's mouth blossoms into a big, toothy grin.
There is.
Interior, Palace of the Adept, Ninth Adept's chambers, night. Moving boxes are stacked high. There's a small cot in the corner. The Ninth Adept has clearly just moved in. She floats in the center of the tiny room, her eyes closed in concentration.
You can do it. You can do it. Let your spirit's force glow.
She takes a deep breath, focuses her energy. A tiny stream of weak, purple spirit force light seeps from the lemniscate on her forehead and curls around her body. She releases her breath. The purple light vanishes. She shakes her head, disappointed.
What's wrong with me?
There's a tap, tap, tap on her window. She floats toward it, opens the curtain. Smiling at her from outside is Daisy, a cute farmer Gotchi.
Oh, hi, Daisy.
Are you just gonna leave me out here floating in the cold?
Isn't your ethereality high enough to just come through the wall?
That would just be rude.
Ninth grins
Sorry.
and opens the window. Daisy floats inside.
So, how's it going, Cora?
I think you're supposed to call me Ninth Adept now.
I won't tell if you don't, Cora.
It's good to see you.
Getting lonely on your first night in this big old palace?
Ninth doesn't answer. Her attention has shifted to a light outside the window. Daisy follows her gaze outside. They see the second adept shuffling away from the palace, his path lit by the fireball in his hand. Rolfus hops along beside him.
Where is he going?
Exterior, the Laughing Peaks, night. The second adept wanders through the fog at the base of this towering mountain range. Rolfus stares up at him skeptically.
Don't look at me like that. I know the Great Liquidator has always said that for the Gotchiverse to remain a utopia, we can never let outsiders into the realm. But these are extenuating circumstances.
Rolfus looks up at the massive peak above them and croaks.
No, I don't know how to get to the top, but we must find a way.
Who goes there?
The second adept whips around to see a Gotchi ranger drift toward them through the mist.
Salutations, noble ranger. We're but just two humble explorers.
The ranger sizes up the second adept. That galaxy brain, those royal robes.
You're an adept.
The ranger bows before the second adept. Rolfus rolls his eyes.
Please, stand up. There's no need for formality.
How How may I serve you, Adept?
Well.
Exterior, the highest peak, night. The Gotchi Ranger huffs and puffs as he carries the second Adept and Rolfus to the plateau atop the peak. The Ranger places second and Rolfus on the ground and rubs his aching back.
Would you mind staying a moment? We may need help getting back down.
The Ranger groans. Second drifts to the center of the plateau. His hands shake as he holds his wizard staff high in the air.
By the arcane blockchain, by the bounty of the bonding curve, I call upon the tokens of non-fungible nature. I call upon the coders from beyond the realm. I call upon the chads from the darkest degen dens. I call upon the unbending, unbroken, all-powerful pixels.
The second Adept swirls his staff through the air, points it at the ground before him. The Ranger's jaw drops as a torrent of blinding pink light shoots from the second Adept's staff. The light morphs into a stone doorway, which fills with ethereal luminescence. It's a portal. The second Adept falls onto his back, exhausted. Rolfus's eyes widen with terror as the Ranger drifts toward the portal.
Beautiful.
A long, slimy tongue shoots out from the portal. It savagely licks the Ranger's face. The Ranger crumples to the ground. The second Adept gasps, scrambles up off the ground, backs away from the pulsating portal. A dark silhouette appears within the portal and steps out. It is a purple liquidator. Its soulless eyes stare down at the prostrate Ranger. The liquidator drags its viscid tongue across the Ranger's body, drawing out the Ranger's glowing spirit force and swallowing it with a satisfied gulp.
No. This isn't right. You're supposed to help us.
The liquidator stalks towards second, releases a deranged battle cry. The second Adept shrieks. Rolfus leaps forward, bites down on the liquidator's tentacle. The liquidator growls and slams Rolfus to the ground. It towers over the stunned Raffle, rears back its tongue.
Don't you dare!
Second thrusts his hands forward. Hearts shoot out of his palms and strike the liquidator in a flurry. It stumbles backward.
Rolfus, to me.
Rolfus scampers to second. They dash to the edge of the plateau. Second looks back at the portal. Another liquidator steps out of it. Then another. And another.
What have I done?
Second and Rolfus leap off the plateau and tumble down the mountain. Exterior. Palace of the Adepts. Sunrise. Bruised, battered, and covered with dirt, the second Adept and Rolfus limp toward the Grand Palace.
How could I be such a fool? I never thought that the Great Liquidator would deceive me.
Rolfus casts a questioning gaze up at second.
No, dear Rolfus. I can never tell the others. They would strip me of my title, cast me out into the beyond. Then how would I take care of you?
Rolfus's lips quiver. He blinks back tears.
But I will promise you this. I will make this right. Somehow.
Exterior, the Citadel, District 1, night. We are back in present day. The second Adepts' gaggle of Gotchis breathe heavy as they construct a massive stone doorway that towers above the Citadel in the very center of District 1. The second Adept floats above it, sweating and panting as he secures stones atop the doorway. The great portal is nearly complete. The first and ninth Adepts stare up at the second.
Great Adept? Is that thing?
It is the great portal, a last resort. I pray we never have to use it.
The fourth adept steps up beside the first, takes a big swig of a potion, and calls out to the second adept.
I didn't know mages did manual labor.
The second adept beams down at him, proud of his work.
I'm a new breed of mage. A portal mage.
Cut to black. The end.
Dope, guys.
Wow, you guys are great.
Good stuff, guys.
Nice.
Mike Alien was hilarious.
We get another
I
primal
was
scream.
cracking up so hard at that. That was so funny.
Dad, was that you that did the arranged battle cry?
That's very natural for me.
Very nice.
I love it.
I do mean it when I say community theater too, guys, because this is quite honestly just that. But recognize the significance of it, because this is very unique right now in our sector and space, and it's really cool to see culture blossoming outside from within crypto.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Most
I've
Discords are just people, moon boys. We got some real culture going on here.
Feels good. Feels good to be Gotchi gang these days.
Absolutely, that was
Yeah,
fun.
this is super fun.
Shout out to Laura. Appreciate you staying up late and sticking around with us.
Yeah, Laura, great job as Daisy. Very good.
Thanks.
Yeah,
And that was
the
really
accent
fun.
really-
I've never done anything like this before.
You got a great narrator voice too, bro. So good job too.
Oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Should we all just quit our day jobs and start doing this for a living?
Yes.
Yeah, let's take this on the road.
We could just all do it from home and make like a cartoon, you know, or a TV show.
Oh yeah.
Crazier things have
Yeah.
happened.
I mean, I actually do that. I run an animation studio, and I end up doing most of the voice acting myself, just because our projects are so small and have so few voices.
The
That's what you already
multi-voice.
do? What?
Yeah, like Zim Timo is the production studio. Me and my animation partner, like she does all the animation, and I do everything else, literally.
Wow, wow.
And I only hire out like when we have a budget big enough to be able to do so. But other than that, I just do it all myself.
That's
That's
amazing.
crazy. So you got more than one voice then?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like so, yeah, definitely. We have animations that I did all of the voices in.
I will work for FUD.
He's being
No
humble
fun
too,
here.
guys. I would like to point out that Anthony's one of my most successful examples of like doing the Web3 DAO thing and just the hustle. He is one of the hardest workers I've seen, and is busy every freaking week.
Thank you, Kayla. That's a lot coming from you, especially.
I was telling Hefe this the other day, and we're on track, right? I think from within our group, I'm seeing one of the strongest conversion rates into like Web3 employment in some way, shape, or form. Some source of transition from, oh, I used to do this, but now I do this. We have a pretty high conversion rate of that in this community.
Yeah, I say so. You know, I think it's just the amount of exposure that you get with Aavegotchi too. You know, I wouldn't be doing as much DeFi stuff if it wasn't for a lot of the pools and stuff that we have that I started out with. And then that extends to getting more involved with these protocols, and you know, eventually you do find your protocol or place where you want to be, and as a place of work. So
Well,
yeah, I agree.
And Dan, I want to leave it back to you. How did you necessarily approach, like how much in the mission statement was there when you guys were building this that you had to try to touch on the human element, not just cool code?
I mean, I think having everything, we knew like from day one that we wanted the DAO to be kind of the drivers of the game and make a lot of the big decisions. So I think just having that community centric aspect leads to a lot of like brainstorming and just culture that a lot of these other projects wouldn't really have. I think the fact that like even like this project that Friendless Summer is working on, like it comes from the fact that this is kind of a DAO owned community. I don't think you'd see that in a lot of other communities that don't have that aspect.
I find a lot of failings in other communities when I try to cultivate this type of a vibe over there. And I'm like, there needs to be like this community centric art esque circumstance where there's a very big focus on community content. And a lot of the protocols, for some reason, don't quote unquote get it. So they don't pioneer it. And then the community doesn't have the ability to produce it. So it's dead on the money with what you're saying, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I love the lore and like the creative aspect of Aavegotchi. So like I think there's a lot to say about kind of a project. I think a lot of projects take on a lot of the characteristics of their initial founders, right? And so I'm a really creative guy. I love like writing. I don't necessarily act, but I do like, I mean, I've made like social media videos before and stuff. So really into the creative side of Aavegotchi. And I think that kind of trickles down to people are attracted to a certain type of community and a certain type of project and a founder. And so this Aavegotchi kind of will help attract a certain type of vibe that comes from me and Golden Cross and Zbot and Mudgeon from the original summoners. And then, that just builds and builds and builds outwards.
Getting out of your comfort zone, accessibility, diversity, all the great things, creativity. All right, guys. Well, I have to go to the beach now, but it's been a great pleasure serving on cast with all you guys, and great work to everyone that wrote and performed, and big shout out to the potion Gotchi, who I think might be my favorite piece of artwork now. Like with the huge eyes.
I love the Matrix eyes on that.
Yeah, he's definitely woke with all the potions, that's for sure. All right, guys. Have fun.
We'll see you, man. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll see lots of you guys in New York.
Have fun.
Yep, later.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Later, Web.
Peace.
Yeah, so I mean, it's cool. This was really fun. With everybody in the audience here, we're still gonna have our regular Saturday hangout / programming and talk about, the things we always kind of go over. But yeah, this was a really good way to spice things up a bit.
Definitely. Do we have any hands in the audience? Anyone ready to hop up here now? We can open things up and get a little more casual.
I got a quick question. With all the new gaming coming onto Polygon, what do you think, Coder Dan or Jesse, about like the gas prices going up?
Yeah, I mean, I think my post the other day about Aave alluded to this. Obviously, as Polygon gets more projects on it, and especially more play to earn type projects like Aavegotchi or like Pegaxi or Sunflower, I think so far they've handled it pretty well. I mean, generally we're at 30 gas, like 30 Gwei transaction. So, I mean, I think as there's more and more adoption, the gas probably will increase, unless, which is what we've kind of seen happening, the validators are increasing their blocks. So when Polygon first started, I think it was at 20 million gas per block, and now the average is around 25 million per block. So there's been a 25% increase in throughput. That has a lot of technical ramifications that the validators need to work through, because it adds more load for them. So obviously, as you get bigger blocks, the technical specifications and requirements get higher and higher, which makes it harder to run that validator node. So it's not really a sustainable solution, but it is it could work for the short term.
Working with them, do you see one of their layer 2s being like the go-to for gaming?
Yeah, so I think if you're a new game, like right now, most of the games are going to be using the public chain because that's really the only option. But I think 6 months from now, hopefully, we'll start having some supernets on that are live or some roll-ups, like different options coming out. So someone like Lens, the Lens protocol, they honestly don't need to be on the public blockchain because they're basically their own ecosystem running with their own stuff. They don't have a strong reason to really be on the public chain because they don't really need to on ramp or off ramp onto the public chain like very often.
So
So
they would
for
be on the private
Aavegotchi,
chain then?
well, they would basically make their own Lens chain, which would be a supernet that can settle back onto the public chain on
Basically
the
like a bubble on
Polygon.
top of the supernet or whatever.
Yeah, so it's you got your public chain, the Polygon proof of stake blockchain, and then it's like you have like a highway, and then you can have a little side chain running next to it. So
But there's
Polygon
no
itself
bridging.
is a side chain. Yeah, there is bridging. They all the supernets come with a bridge. So you can bridge on and off to the public chain whenever you want. But
it's all inside the same ecosystem. You're not bridging it into a new, it's basically all part of like a multi-bubble. You're just kind of going in and out of different things that are the same system, right?
yeah, I mean so Polygon is a side chain of Ethereum, and so they're saying we're gonna make side chains of Polygon now, basically.
Turtles all the way down.
Yeah. And that's basically what Vitalik was saying with like security. Staying in-house delivers a lot more security than trying to jump into your own thing right away. You know what I mean?
Well, so what Axie did with Ronin is they basically built their entire chain with validators and their own explorer. And what tripped them up was they didn't have enough security with their validators. They only had like 5 validators. They were kind of on the same machine. And so what the supernets are going to do, they will allow you to basically choose which validators you want from the current validator set. There's a couple hundred validators on Polygon proof of stake. So you don't have to go and reinvent the wheel with validators. You can basically reach out to the ones that you want to validate, and you can pay them in whatever token they will take. So they might take a Matic token, or they might take your token. We could do glitter or FUD, whatever. And so that would be that's much better than having to like recreate your entire validator set. That's one of the big advantages of the supernet. What is happening with Matic Gas right now? Speaking of this,
Yo, it is. I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to like relist 15 gotchis.
Well, I know that they were talking about launching a few really big games. I don't know when them launch dates were though.
No, that's way more than it's probably just market liquidations happening. Lots of trading, lots of arbing. This is an arb increase.
Is BTC dumping right now, or?
That's what people are saying, I guess. BTC's on the dump.
Yeah, probably a little market action, little chop.
I want to see
a morning dump.
I would love to see Matic dump a little more so I can fill up that bag again.
Yeah, ETH dumping pretty hard. I guess there's a lot of this like staked ETH FUD. I don't quite understand it. I think the issue is that Anchor, or is it Anchor or Celsius, is like they're gonna get liquidated soon on Aave. I think that's the issue.
Yeah, they're about to go insolvent.
Celsius is? Oh dang, dude.
Yeah, they're at risk for insolvency right now if ETH keeps dumping like she's doing. So this is maybe a targeted flush or something, but there's some big bags at risk currently. So watch your backs.
Yeah, I see had a screenshot in one of my chats here. Let me see if I can find it. Basically, all the different positions that they have open there. So this is not 100% confirmed, but I think I did see someone was saying this is probably Celsius. Their stake ETH position. So their health rate is 1.6.
God.
Dude, 15,000 BTC.
What is that health rate? Does that mean they're close to being liquidated? It has to go under 1, right?
Closer than I would freaking be for something of their size with that much in volatility.
What would it have to go to for them to start being liquidated?
1. Once it hits 1,
Yeah.
it would get liquidated. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what the price of ETH would need to go to, or Bitcoin, or Link. Probably ETH. So yeah.
Good God, this is a bloodbath. Hey, just so everyone knows, I'll speak from my own experience. If you haven't been liquidated yet, it's not as bad as it sounds. You get over it quickly.
I got liquidated. I pretty much stopped margin trading because it's kind of too degen.
Yeah, no, it's a whole change of the whole strategy for a big generation of us. I think we've got through our leverage days, and now we'll start being a little wiser. And now we're watching wreckage, but it's not quite as bad as it used to be, because it used to be
just riding the wave. Yeah, I think being a builder in this space is so nice. You can kind of ride the wave. And don't have to worry about getting liquidated.
Yeah, I'm a degen, but I don't do money Legos. I'm just not that big of a degen. Can't do it. Other than stake Ghost and Ghost USDC or Ghost glitter pairs, like that stuff I'm cool with.
I'm a total degen, I gotta say. I mean, I don't go into weird farms, but as far as on Aave or whatever I feel safe on, I do some pretty degen stuff.
Yeah, I save my degen shit for trading shit coins, fucking Luna when it dropped, which is stupid as hell. But I don't know. I always get very cautious around borrowing against my money, and at multiple of whatever the initial investment is. It's not
stay that way. No, stay that way. It's better advice, and your life will be simpler.
Yeah, you miss out on those big gains, but you never get destroyed either, so it's not bad.
Not worth it. Didn't you buy Titan, no futuristic?
Yeah, I bought Titan. That worked out really well. I bought Titan right as it crashed, and then that's basically what got me all of my H2 gotchis and all of the GBM action. That was the funding for it last summer.
Yeah, people were trying to do the same thing with Luna. I don't think it really worked out for them.
Yeah, I managed to make some money, but I definitely have $500,000 bag right now that I bought at 1,000th or whatever of a penny or something.
Toju, shout out, man. Yeah, the Iron Finance vets. It's nice when you can see somebody in the space that's got the same scars, right?
You and Mark Cuban.
That was a sad story for me. Actually, I went on vacation for a week, and I had a little group that we all degen with. And in my absence for that week, they found it. They all aped into it, and I came back, and they were all wiped out.
Oh. Great intro to the space.
Yeah, absolutely. It's well, at least now you know what it's like to lose, so we can get that one out of the way.
AJ, which protocol has the lowest liquidation fees? Is it Aave? I think I don't know about the fee, but I know that Aave only liquidates a portion, right? They don't liquidate your entire bag if you go under your health factor, which is nice. But I don't know about the fee. My friend got liquidated on, I think it was Badger. He didn't realize that if you go just a little bit under your health factor, they would liquidate your entire position.
Oh Lord, yeah, it's a whole take.
Yeah.
Cheetah was that way in the early days. They used to have a grief counseling channel in their Discord.
Jeez. Yeah, he got hacked and liquidated.
I think the Aave fee is 1% on top of your liquidation. it's not that big a fee. I mean, 1% is a lot, but still.
Flame Smokescreen's not in here this morning. I don't know where he's at, but he's been playing the instant app flipping game massively successfully over the last week or two. I haven't had the energy to pay attention right now, but he's been doing really well.
Anyone in the Gotchiverse right now?
I was just gonna say is I'm by the north gate right now. I finally made my way over, so hanging out up there.
I'm in District 28, so I'm nowhere near you.
It'll take you 20 minutes probably to get to where I am.
North gate. All right, I'm heading to the north corner here.
Everyone feeling lucky for tomorrow's raffle?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I got some rare tickets. I bought a whole bunch yesterday. Just ready. I just think it's weird, this raffle, because it's the first time that we've seen raffle ticket prices actually go down going into the raffle. But I think it's because the Gotchi Vault distributed 450 million friends to its holders. So that kind of ruined my raffle strategy this time. But we'll see what happens with the land raffle.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It really was the first time that I've seen the raffle tickets go down. For the most part, I've always seen them pump.
Yeah.
I know I got some common tickets and uncommon tickets from Gotchi Vault. So I wonder how many tickets long-term hardcore Vigo stakers got, because I have a little now. But
I'll share that because I have been in there since they launched VGhost, and so I've just been sitting. And so I ended up with like 1 godlike, 5 mythicals, 25 legendaries, 80 some odd rares, 100 and some odd the uncommons, and like 850 commons. And so I was actually really, really pretty happy with that, because I'm typically not a raffle player, and I usually don't go out of pocket to buy raffle tickets, and I don't stake for friends. I do other things with my ghost. And so for me as an individual, it actually ended up being a really beneficial circumstance.
Coder Dan, I don't know. We talked about it in the Gotchi space last Sunday, but I don't know if it's been brought up to you or anybody within the Aavegotchi team at all. But Dr. Wagme floated out an idea of doing rarity farming for the land. Have you heard about this at all? Has there been any discussion in the Discord about this?
I think most of the discussion is on the forum right now. I did see it. I responded a little bit. I mean, I think my take on it is, I think it's definitely, I figured eventually someone would like broach this idea because it is an interesting idea. My take is, I think it's still too early to start attaching yields to these items that are kind of supposed to be non-yield bearing. They're supposed to just be aesthetic or for gameplay. So if you start attaching like a potential yield opportunity to it, I just think it's gonna it could potentially debase what could become like collector's items in the game later that are just for collectors. They're for fun rather than like trying to become this like pay to win kind of contest. There's been some ideas about maybe instead of having a yield, maybe it could be something that's like another decoration or something that you could win from getting it. So it would still be kind of a yield, but it would be an item that is also a decoration that you could sell, or maybe it's non-transferable. I don't know, but it would like basically not a direct yield in Alchemica.
Can I ask a silly question here then, just as I'm tuning into this conversation? I haven't caught up. So like with rarity farming, BRS and wearables, it makes sense. With land, what's the suggested like a metric of measurement for whose land is better than others or something?
Yeah, that's a whole thing we'd have to figure out. So with decorations, there are tiers. There's the 6 tiers that we can see. The golden altars would be, you probably have to like look at how many exist, how many are equipped, I guess, and maybe assign the limited edition items like a point value.
Just a kind of a left field thing that might be interesting to throw it into the mix is land is such a visual experience, such a tangible experience to go to the Gotchiverse and see it. Is there any opportunity that we could do something? They have a thing around here called the Parade of Homes, which is very much like the public deciding on which ones are the baddest of asses. And so maybe it's not something that's done on a mathematical, maybe it's done on some kind of public voting system.
Yeah, I've actually figured it could be something similar to that. One of the ideas we had very early was basically like we can kind of monitor and track which parcels are the most heavily visited. And there could be some benefits based on basically foot traffic to a parcel. So there'd be this like kind of an incentive to pimp out your parcel and make it worth people visiting and like checking out. Or you could like hold parties there to just attract more people. And obviously there's going to be if there's any sort of incentive attached to it, there's going to be people trying to exploit that with like getting all their bots or their friends to go join. So foot traffic is a cool metric, but it's like kind of like having upvotes on Reddit. It's like something that's a bit.
I like making it more interactive, like you said. Like maybe you have to go interact with the decoration somehow, and it's based on how many times you interact with it, or how much time you spend on the parcel, like you're saying in blocks.
Yeah, because there would be kind of an opportunity cost to having a gotchi standing on a parcel rather than being out there foraging. So it could be something related to time spent on the parcel. Because if your gotchi is standing on a parcel all day, rather than going out and picking up spillover, it's not really. You'd have to definitely think about that. So it probably means that you're on there for a specific reason, like you're having a hangout or something, which is good. Yeah, guilds, everyone stand on this parcel all day. We will bribe you. And the other aspect of the rarity farming for parcels that I think I would personally prefer it if the DAO staked some of their Alchemica or all of their Alchemica matched with Ghost to increase the liquidity in our pools, and then they used the glitter from staking to reward people. If we did go the direction of rewarding some sort of rarity for land, I think it would just be a little bit healthier to stake that and farm the glitter and then give that glitter out rather than distributing Alchemica by itself.
Actually, this might be a conversation for tomorrow's DAO meeting, but I would love to like open up the conversation to figuring out ways that maybe some of the fees that the DAO receives can be allocated towards Pixelcraft, like for some of your, I guess, your expenses for server needs, stuff like that. I don't know if anybody wants to talk about that, but I think it would be smart for us to start doing that to give you guys a little more runway, like we were talking about last week with like looking for like a bot czar, stuff like that.
I agree, actually, with that. I agree.
I think especially now, the more we can put into Pixelcraft, the better the game development will be and our runway into the next few years.
100%.
Also, if there are any big brain gotchis in here, I'm kind of forming a little group of like-minded gotchis to maybe crowdfund the building of a mini game / the beginnings of a new Pixelcraft for the Gotchiverse. So if you're interested in some crazy shit like that, hit me up because we're starting to talk and think about stuff like that, taking these things to the next level. And in a bear you got to build, so it's time to build.
Yeah, someone was actually there was an interesting idea about having like an onboarding quest for the Gotchiverse, which I think is a really interesting idea. It's just like we're trying to get the Harvester release out as soon as possible, and there's quite a bit that we still need to work on. We got the bot issue as well. So one idea I did think of was like, what if the community built some sort of like onboarding quest that's very similar to the Gotchiverse, but isn't actually the Gotchiverse? We could fund it with kind of like fake Alchemica, and you'd have to go through that quest before you could actually join the real Gotchiverse. That would kind of save us from having to build out this kind of like test zone. Because what it really would come down to is we'd have to build out a zone where Gotchis could go and they could roam around, pick up Alchemica. That I think the idea was that it wouldn't actually go to their balance. And then there'd be like quests and things that that people could interact with, which are things we definitely plan to add. We're just not quite there yet. So if the community built like a little mini game that it could work as an onboarding. It could also help filter out bots because they'd have to go through this like community made mini game first. Obviously, it's not an easy task. There would be
it's like a tutorial level.
Yeah, like a tutorial level, and it wouldn't be multiplayer. It would be single player. You wouldn't have to worry about all the different complicated server connections that we have. You basically just have this one single player mode where you're going to run around and pick up some Alchemica, maybe go visit a great portal and do some whatever kind of quest the community is envisioning. Just it could be an interesting idea to help expand our bandwidth while also not having us to have to build it directly.
That idea could be amazing if you paired it with like Gotchi U kind of content where the questing is also educational so that the new person coming in understands more than just picking up Alchemica. They understand, all of it, like the DeFi aspects. Like it'd be a really good educational tool.
There's a similar thing in RuneScape that was pretty famous, the tutorial island, which could be used for some ideas. But also, what would you say like we need to think about randomization wise, because we don't want people like botting the tutorial, right?
Yeah, we'd have to make it have enough content that it like becomes difficult for them to automate that. I mean, what you'll probably go ahead.
I was just gonna say the tutorial island that you were talking about, Harambe, that was actually really cool because it was a series of like almost like 4 or 5 mini games that you'd have to do on this island to get off the island, and then you make it to the main.
Yeah, you'd cook, you'd fight, you'd learn like mining, you'd learn every skill set, I guess. A little different than the Gotchiverse, but I think their setup of like different rooms is pretty cool.
Coder Dan, is there a function on the smart contract to batch add Gotchi lending?
To add it, let's see.
Yeah, like if I want to do like if I'm interacting with the smart contract, but I want to add like 100 listings of Gotchi lendings at once versus one by one, is there a function for that, or does it have to be automated?
Let me check.
Yeah, because there is a batch claim and end and relist, which is great, but as I dynamically change prices, it would be great to have like the batch.
Yeah, I do see batch add Gotchi listing. There's a bunch of batch functions that we just haven't had the bandwidth to add to the front end yet. So we got batch add Gotchi listing, which it takes a struct, which is like kind of a special form of a variable that you'd have to input, which is a little bit hard to do that in Looper. So for that you probably want to add make a very, very basic JavaScript script to be able to run. So you got your batch add, batch cancel, batch claim and end, batch claim and end and relist, and batch extend Gotchi lending. Those are all the different batch production functions.
Yeah, it's weird because on Looper Dev, there's actually 2 extra ones that in that Gotchi lending facet. It's like a batch cancel Gotchi and then batch cancel Gotchi like lending by token. So like at the beginning of all this, I kept using the wrong one and like freaking myself out. Like, why isn't it working? And it's like I realized, I'm on the wrong function. There's like this extra one for some reason.
Yeah, one of them is by the token ID of your Gotchi. So if you have like Gotchi ID 69, then you could call batch cancel Gotchi lending by token with Gotchi ID 69, and it will cancel whichever listing is for that Gotchi ID of 69, whereas batch cancel Gotchi lending takes a listing ID, which is there's like 600, 700,000 of those now. So you just have to find the listing ID and then input that, and that'll cancel it.
Okay, that's good to know. Do you, if possible, when we're entering the Gotchiverse, when we're looking for parcels, we put the names in. Is there any way to also add in the token number as a searchable, like, to sort?
Yeah, that shouldn't be too difficult. It's a feature, so we'd have to add that in. But if that's just drop it in feature requests, and you guys go like it. So we'll definitely check that out.
Dan, I'm dying to ask you. At the last call, it was during the week. I forget what type of call it was, but I think it was announcing the decoration raffle. Yeah. You said when we go 3D. Can you give us some insight on your ideas for that?
Yeah, so I mean, Phaser actually does support 3D. And so a lot of the assets that we're building are actually 3D models. So what we kind of do envision eventually is having like a 3D Gotchiverse still built in Phaser. Probably wouldn't need to do like Unreal for that. It's not going to be like extremely high priority, but it is on our internal roadmap that we'll want it to be a 3D world. So for example, on your parcel right now, when you place a decoration, you can't really move it around, like turn it around, because we're saving basically only the front view of that, and we don't have the ability to like turn it around right now. So in a 3D game, you would be able to do that because the 3D object would have all the angles to it.
That's pretty cool. I'm imagining like VR headsets going around District 1, seeing golden tiles, and I think the decorations will really see a lot more likening at that point.
Yeah, we could have like the top down mode that we have now. Then we could have the first person mode where you're just like cruising through the realm in first person mode. Not really possible right now.
Yeah, I really like the immersion of that. It sounds awesome.
If the game were to be 3D, we would have to like download like a program, almost like a client, right?
No, there's if you've ever like used CryptoVoxels, they use I think it's Babylon JS, which is it's in browser 3D rendering engine. So Phaser is also would work fine, I believe. You wouldn't have to download anything.
Okay.
I gotta get going now, guys. But I'll see you later.
Later. Good luck in the raffle.
Yeah, absolutely. Pirate Gotchi's still running on there for Roxiano, guys. Y'all pay attention. She's working hard.
Yeah. I'll post a link about that too before I go.
Take it easy.
Have a good weekend, Sus Butterfly.
Check out that artwork.
Thanks, yeah. Bye.
Later.
I made it to the North Gate.
Yeah, I'm chilling with ZombieShepherd here at the North Gate.
Were you just traveling that whole time? Because you were quiet for a while, so I figured maybe you're walking across the whole like dang citadel.
I was just traveling. Yep.
Yeah, I've been in the Gotchiverse a lot, but it's mostly just been channeling. Like there'll be Alchemica around me, and I'm like, I just don't have time to pick this up. I'm sorry, guys.
Unless it's the giant cack or cack,
picking up pennies.
You gotta go for the cack.
Is
right?
For you guys, I'm running around here. If sometimes the direction is not actually accurate, like it'll be facing one way, but I'm moving the other way. Is that happening for anyone else?
It seems to be really bad.
The side scroller thing?
Yeah, I don't normally have that issue, but today it seems really bad that you can't get it to face the direction you're going.
Yeah. I think they were pushing some optimizations that might have broken that.
Hey,
it doesn't happen a lot, but it's occasional.
I had a quick question about the bubble ups. I know we've been trying to talk about it the last couple of sessions, and I was just wondering if we could have any kind of alpha on bubble ups or being near, rivers of Kilmica.
Honestly, I mean, it's not something that we're really prioritizing right now, just because there's so much other functionality, and it's just going to add more pressure on Alchemica prices. So if it's something like the DAO is really interested in, then I think we should continue the conversation in the DAO forum.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering.
Speaking of, we are going to be discussing the various proposals we have at tomorrow's DAO hangout for we want to have some quick solutions that will definitely throw a wrench in the botters' plans. So just a real quick overview. If you can't make it tomorrow, we'll probably be putting out some proposals next week. So there's the original invite cartridge idea, which would basically be an NFT that we could drop to the recipients, and then they could distribute them out to whoever they wanted. Probably, it would most likely be like Gotchi owners and people who had placed tiles or crafted golden altars, things like that. Exact distribution would have to be confirmed with that. But there is some dev overhead for that because we need to write the NFT contract, which is mostly written but not complete. We would need to confirm the airdrop, figure out who's going to receive it. Then we'd also need to craft the front end for it, which I think this would actually be the biggest time sink. We want to have a front end that makes it easy for people to kind of understand what a cartridge is and what they can do with it and where they can get one if they're a new player. So all that would need to be kind of spec'd out with user stories and designed and then implemented by the front end team. So that's the invite cartridge. Another, I think, a lighter idea, maybe not as effective, maybe just as effective. Hard to say really, but would be having basically a review mode where if you're new to the game, you're gonna have basically a 7-day period in which you can pick up Alchemica, but you would not be able to go to the vortex and withdraw it until your review period is up. And so that would give us a little bit of time where we could make sure that you're not a bot. We'd have to have some metrics for how much Alchemica you've picked up, how long you've been in the game, things like that, to make sure you're actually playing. And after that 7-day review period, we basically, if you hadn't been banned by then, we'd do one final review, and you would be able to, as long as you hit the various requirements we have, you'd be able to get through your review period and start withdrawing all of your Alchemica. So that would be the review period. And then there's also the talk of the onboarding quest, which I think is super cool idea and something we definitely need. It's just gonna take some time to spec that out again and figure out what kind of quests we want to have, how we're gonna implement them. So that's I believe it's a great idea. A little bit longer term, if we're trying to do something in the near term, in my opinion, the review period is probably the quickest and the dirtiest that we could do to get it just out there and see if it works or not. See how long it takes the botters to change their tactics.
Yeah, in regards to that, that tutorial, that is something that could possibly be, coordinated at the very least by the arcade task force, if we're able to get that formed. Because right now there's a proposal. There's 2 days left on it. I think we still are short of a couple million votes. Actually, no, I think we might be. Yeah, we're not quorum yet on that, so we're at 65%. So yeah, vote on that, and we can get the ATF together because I think that's going to be really important in tackling some of these sort of educational / mini game projects. At least coordinating them too.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at the proposal here. If you guys haven't voted on it. Looks like the vault has not voted on it. Does anyone know what the vault is planning to do?
I've not talked to Wagme yet, but I feel like it would help them out too with the educational aspect of helping players get started for sure.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of really cool games in the pipeline right now. I would love to hear a little bit more about the games that are kind of in the pipeline, like to know what kind of like reward structure they're planning to use. Like, are they going to use Alchemica? Obviously, that'd be the coolest. How are they planning to? Are there going to be in-game rewards, or I haven't really
Yeah.
followed it that closely.
Yeah, so I mean, the first objective would be creating some standards, to have secure games that we can actually run for competitions. And I think one of the ideas I kind of threw out there is possibly having seasonal leaderboards and having maybe certain vetted games, allowed to be part of these leaderboards, or a leaderboard, a seasonal leaderboard for 3 games or whatever. And you would have these festivals / competitions, and then the prizes could be based on glitter or friends, because I know the ATF also has funds already allocated for game development that are being staked currently, and they are generating friends and glitter, so that could be a potential use case for those as well.
Yeah, totally.
I think having periodic gaming events is going to kind of bring the fun aspect back into Aavegotchi. Like, not saying that collecting Alchemica isn't fun, but we need a little bit more variety, I think, and different ways to interact with an Aavegotchi. Yeah, so there's 100,000 ghosts. It says on the proposal there, 100,000 ghosts staking right now for.
Nice.
Yeah, that's going to be used for the glitter generated and the friends generated could be used for prizes. But the biggest issue, I think, is the leaderboards being hacked, and like botting of the games would have to be addressed. So they'd have to be somehow kind of sandboxed somewhat, to kind of limit that, at least. I don't know if you can squash it completely, but we got Coyote that's gonna, he's a big part of that. He's a big piece of that. There's also some really big brain devs that are in that group too. So I think it's gonna be great to start getting the framework together for that. And then, like No Future was saying, there's other groups that are interested in, creating other pixel crafts. So we could probably help with that process as well. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really beneficial.
Yeah, cool. Eddie says, got ideas for that, by the way. For what is that referring to?
The anti-bot for the minigame.
Oh, nice. Nice. Ooh, just found some tech.
Hey, Hefe, guess what I just finally got done?
What's that?
I finally got 6 new votes up on the GMI Aragon for incoming candidates. That's been a long time coming. So OXZFi, John Gotchi, Hardcore, Backside.bz, Contact, and Harambe. Those guys are all going up for vote to get their GMI tokens. So let's make sure we ping all of our folks and please try to get them to vote. We got 3 days to get it done.
Nice.
Oh, we got a token too. Okay.
I'm on it.
Yeah, right on. Thanks, guys.
So
is that Aragon on Polygon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Just remember to set your gas appropriately, because Aragon doesn't do that, and it will lowball the shit out of it.
Great advice. Absolutely. Aragon is functional, but she sure ain't perfect.
Yeah.
Coder Dan, can I ask you a weird technical question? When I'm using Looper Dev, the gas fees tend to be lower than when I use the UI or like even Gotchi lending, or is automation the reason why the gas fee is higher if you're using like Gelato or something like that?
So on our UI, we do up the gas a little bit higher than the market aggressive, which is probably what you're referring to there. Because there's a lot of times when the market is like unstable, and so we'll generally set it a bit above what the API is considered to be like a high rate. That's why the rates on Aavegotchi.com and the Gotchiverse are generally a little bit higher. For Gelato, I'm not sure. I haven't really used it.
It's probably helpful so you don't get like a million pings why my transaction failed.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's that's like one of the biggest blockchain issues. People are always like, "What happened to my?" I make like 30 transactions and one of them is pending. They don't realize it's pending, so they make a bunch of transactions and never goes through. So we just like to set it a little bit higher than what's recommended.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. No, during the GBM auctions, I'm one of those people that ends up putting in 50 transactions and not realizing they're not going through.
Yeah.
I did have a question. I've been out of the loop a bit on harvester discussion. I've heard people say 1-2 months. I don't know if that was from a good source though. Is there anything anybody's heard?
As far as when they're gonna go online?
Yep.
Yeah, we are definitely aiming for we're gonna have one final discussion with the dev team next Tuesday, and then we should be very clear about what the final date will be. But we're looking at early to mid-July for a harvester release with harvesters, reservoirs, makers, and maybe some quality of life improvements for the social features.
Thanks. Yeah, that's awesome. You guys, I heard you're going to be reviewing the recipes proposed by Notorious and Mikey, right?
Yeah, we reviewed those last week, and I believe actually Let's Go Bankless was looking at it very, very closely, and we did discuss it the other day, and had an idea for recipe B, which was kind of our favorite. We thought it would be useful to double the build time of the harvesters for recipe B. And that's just because there's so much glitter out there right now that without what the build times currently were, someone would be able to get to a level 9 within basically with only about 30 million glitter. So not really a big obviously it would be an investment, but they'd be able to get that back much quicker. So we think it'd be prudent to increase the build time a little bit. Yeah, I think B is probably going to be the winner.
That's interesting. Yeah, I have to go look. I haven't read into them fully, but I was kind of waiting for some conclusion. Yeah. Because my plan initially on like most parcels was just spam harvesters, and I have like a bunch of small ones and a couple spacious, but initially I was just going to throw as many like low to mid tier harvesters out as I could and use glitter to upgrade them instantly. No makers.
Yeah, and I think that will be still what we're trying to aim for is having a lot of different strategies available. I think like that's what if we think about what is the best gameplay, it's about having as many options that are viable as possible. So there's going to be some people who want to go all in on glitter and get everything upgraded as fast as possible, and then there's going to be some that just want to go the slow road and basically have a high but slow yield as far as an ROI over a long period of time. So we want to make as many options as possible viable for all of the parcel sizes, which recipe C did have kind of a disadvantage for humbles, and it's something that's quite difficult to get around because they're basically different gameplay style completely. But I think recipe B does allow quite a few options for humbles, rather than with recipe C, it was kind of punishing the humbles a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I've been telling people, like there is no set strategy on what's the best thing to do. It's going to depend on your holdings, your amount of ghost available, your alchemica. Just kind of like what drew me to Aavegotchi in the first place was that you had many angles of attack to invest in it. You could stake for ghost and be conservative and, take your yield or enter into the raffle. And I mean, even that has two angles. Then, you could invest all in on gotchis. You could buy a balanced portfolio. Like it's really something that makes it not so linear, because when you have this linear thing, then everybody's going to be doing the same thing and it's going to get boring and people are just going to go for maximum efficiency instead of something interesting.
Yeah. While we're on the hangout here, I'm going to be heading off soon, but I did want to let you guys know I did push a couple updates to knowyourscholar.com. Definitely check your address in there and see. I removed the part where it kind of gives you a classification, because I think there's a lot more work that needs to be done before we can confidently say that kind of language. But the updates I pushed today, it'll now show what kind of assets you have as far as parcels, how much you've crafted. Gotchi ownership is coming soon, where there's a subgraph update we need to finish before that. But it also shows how much alchemica you have converted into ghost, which is before it was being classified as selling, which it technically is, but you're kind of still keeping it in the ecosystem. So we have alchemica converting to ghost, and then we also have selling alchemica and selling ghost, which are also kind of metrics that are visible. So still a work in progress for sure, but let me know if your wallet looks fairly accurate. Definitely would be good to get some feedback on it. We're working on a couple other internal tools that are really useful to help prevent the sometimes our banning gets a little, unfortunately targets some people who do own gotchi assets, and so going forward we're gonna try to prevent that as much as possible. So we're building out a lot of other new tools that will help prevent that.
Yeah,
and
very cool.
another thing we'll probably talk about maybe tomorrow, but a good time to kick off the conversation is the glitter versus friends. Should we start thinking about retiring friends and use glitter for tickets going forward? Maybe we could make the tickets purchasable with glitter or with friends. But definitely a good time to start thinking about that, because after these next couple raffles, the friends will be significantly used up compared to where they are right now. So it would be kind of a good time if we as a community are thinking we want to do that.
Boy, the chat board looks like, yeah, it's gone.
Are you thinking? I was just gonna say, are you thinking some sort of a conversion rate for remaining friends, maybe at that time, if we decide to shift over?
Maybe. I mean, for the first decision we need to make would be, what is the conversion rate of glitter to tickets? And then once we've confirmed that, there'll kind of be an arb opportunity maybe between the two that people could. I'll probably just go through tickets to do that. I don't know if we necessarily need to have a conversion rate between friends and glitter.
I was curious if we do remove friend staking, do you think there's some economic implications of large stakers, as well as basically what Hefe was saying, like, as I imagine there's a lot of AFK people who are just not here and they check back every few months and they're like, oh, I have 10 million friends. Okay, time to throw them in the next raffle or sell them. So like a lot of them, if it's if they're not working anymore, they're probably going to be upsetty spaghetti and come posting. So I don't know. Something to think about.
I think probably a good way to do it would be to phase the friends out over a period of time. Have like a plan where we slowly reduce the rate for friends. Whereas currently it's like one ghost, one friend per day. We would basically start moving that down slowly over time. then it would become superior to just to do the glitter. But I do think there will be definitely be a certain group that just decides maybe they don't want a single stake for friends. They want, and maybe not, they're not comfortable with WAP Ghost. So there might be some exit. That would be one thing to consider for sure.
Yeah, that was my overall worry. Is large ghost stakers dipping.
But I think the interesting thing about glitter is that there is more utility for it. If we use it also currently for the Alchemica speeding up, and then we also use it for friends, that would mean glitter is going to be burned even faster than it currently would be, which will be, I mean, it'll be nicer than friends by itself, which is basically every day there's more friends created, and when there's no raffle, there's really nothing burning those friends.
Do we know if the Gotchi Vault is in any of the glitter pools? Like, I know that they don't really work. You know, it's more passive. They're not really taking funds and moving around like that. But I just wonder if they're actually staking for glitter.
I don't know. Anyone know?
Also, you basically just said, like, you know, glitter, rocket, go boom, like with this, you know, little alpha that you just dropped.
I mean, the market is going to do what the market's going to do based on all the information it knows. I would say at this point, the inflation rate of glitter is still very, very high for this year. So if there's more glitter coming on compared to that amount being burned, then you'll definitely, you know, it'll do what it's going to do. But definitely not a bad thing to have more utility, more burning of a token, more use cases.
Yeah, I've been really excited for glitter raffles. You can just buy a lot of it. I think that's part of the appeal, is that one ghost goes a far way.
It's also the value of it. Like me and Hefe were talking about on District 420 yesterday. It's like, you know, the understanding that each glitter is literally a block of time on the Polygon network. So like that's valuable. Like maybe right now, because there's so much of it, you know, being printed out at the moment, but it is a limited supply. So it's like that time is always going to have value. So just like, like me personally, I'm just like stacking it and then restaking it. Like just let's keep printing more and more. But, you know, I see friends out here making 238 glitter a block, and I'm like, God damn, you know, like I got to step up my game a bit.
Yeah, it's I think 2.2 seconds per block still. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it varies.
Yeah, someone did a quick calculation on District 420 last night. I think it was ZombieShepherd maybe, but I was like 100 ghosts worth of glitter is about, I think the number I got like it was over 3.5 million glitter you could get for 100 ghosts, and that translated to about 2,420 hours of blockchain time approximately. Which actually worked out to be about 100 days or like over 3 months. So that's, you know, that's a lot of value for your money if that's how it works out.
Yeah, I mean, and you added 420 in there too.
Yeah. It works out though. I mean, like the day that glitter went live for upgrades, like to speed it up, I spent 1.5 million glitter like very quickly when I started upgrading to level 4, because it's I think like 600,000 glitter to upgrade, but then you also don't have to wait 8 or 10 days, whatever it is. So it's like such a huge improvement when you're trying to build. So I actually have a question then. With harvesters and reservoirs, we're going to be able to use glitter to speed it up, but we also have the maker that we can build to speed it up. Is it like, which will be the more advantageous route? Because I figure the maker, the glitter, it's probably going to be astronomical, the amount that you need, so that the maker might actually be a viable option. But is it going to be, you'll be able to do both ways, right?
Yeah, but it's going to depend on glitter price, right? Like if glitter just moons out the ass, then, you know, it's going to probably change the strategies a lot.
Yeah, because
probably be a time and place for each.
Yeah, because the ultra upgrades get pretty pricey glitter-wise once you start getting 3, level 4, level 5. I'm figuring reservoirs are going to be more glitter intensive. Same thing with harvesters, but you know, who knows? I mean, Coder Dan knows, but not me.
Yeah, the build times will be part of what we are confirming as a community with the harvester proposal that Mikey and Notorious have been working on. I was running the numbers. It was about to get level 9 with the current recipe B. I believe it was 32 million blocks of glitter, something in that range. It was the build time was total like 755 days. I think that might have been, I don't know how accurate that was, so I might be talking on my ass here, but it was a pretty high number for sure. So it's just like if you want to insta build a level 9, you'll need definitely millions of glitter to do that.
Yeah, I think you run the risk of, I mean, there is, huge inflation right now for it, but I could see a period of time when everybody's doing these initial harvesters, and when the lodges come out, like you might be buying it at a way higher price, and the strategy will change.
Yeah.
The maker might be more attractive.
Yeah. One thing I'm a little worried about, if we start using, so say that glitter actually does go up to like a fairly high price. If we're also using it for friends, we're basically the price per friend, or well, not per friend, but per ticket would be denominated in glitter. So the tickets would also be basically going up in price. The ticket kind of represents a future chance at getting an Aavegotchi asset. So what that would basically be saying is we'd probably have fewer tickets minted for the raffles, just because each ticket costs a little bit more. So the
I don't see
easy
that
of
as
the
an
raffle.
issue.
Yeah, it seems like a good problem, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Unless you get in late. Better stake up.
Mm-hmm. So the makers are, I think they're going to be probably revised down as far as their price, because they're probably overvalued at this point in the current recipe. I think part of the proposal will also include kind of a nerfing of the price for the maker to make it a little bit more affordable. And then, yeah, if you have a spacious parcel, the maker is really built for a spacious, where you can probably get your money back by, like, if you're going to build like 64 harvesters, just that level 1, that upgrade from level 1 to level 2 for all 64 it'll still be like half a year of time, really. So you could get a decent bang for your buck with the maker having all those upgrades happening simultaneously.
That's
not all 64 obviously, but like up to 10.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my strategy, is the low level based. Actually, I recommend this document that Notorious BTC and Mikey J put out. There's 3 archetypes, now 4 archetypes in there. Definitely worth looking at that and seeing what play style might appeal to you more. But to me, the low leveler with the maker bot might be the way I go. It's less resource intensive. I get my money back sooner, but I do have to wait to get all the resources out, which I'm fine with doing. It'll be interesting to see all the different strategies that come out. Even based on people's VRF roles, because the variance is quite high, right? So you could have some very differing levels of resources based on the VRF.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I heard about a glitter, I think someone mentioned this in the chat, you could spend glitter in game to speed your gotchi up for a certain number of blocks. It'd be kind of fun.
That would be interesting, especially when you're fighting, gotchis with better movement speed items, because I see the ones with the very rare, legendary, and godlike movement speed items, they're going to have a huge advantage in combat. But if we have these potions, what's making them kind of exclusive, I guess? Are we just going to be using glitter all the time? It's not a bad thing, but just something to consider. I would keep pumping glitter into move speed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in combat.
That's a good little quick question before you go, Dan. With the potions, when they do get implemented, do you see these being more purchasable with glitter or more craftable with Alchemica?
So probably, so the one of the issues we have to handle with in-game purchases right now is the alchemica that you have in-game. So your bag, your loot bag that you pick up, the alchemica, that's really it's capped at 250 right now, and it also drops when if you die, all of your alchemica is going to drop, and so it's not really ideal for crafting games in like crafting items in game that aren't necessarily on-chain NFTs. Like a potion that you purchase probably doesn't need to be an NFT because we don't really want to have an on-chain transaction to mint it and then burn it when you use it. I mean, we could. It's just it seems a bit wasteful to do that. Does literally everything need to be on-chain, brother? It's kind of like Lens protocol putting likes on chain. It's like at some point you got to just be like, no, it's probably just better to keep that on IPFS or on our servers. And so if you're minting a potion, say you walk up to an NPC, you buy the potion from him, you could purchase it with Alchemica, but you'd have to have that Alchemica in your bag. And so what if you don't have any Alchemica in your bag? You wouldn't be able to purchase it. So the other option I think is a viable option is to have glitter deposits where you can basically deposit glitter into your personal account, and then you could spend that glitter in game for basically anything. Whereas the Alchemica would be used more for on-chain crafting, and it's like a pickup that you get in the game, but you want to withdraw it to craft with it. Whereas the glitter could be something you can actually deposit in the game, and then you can spend it on all sorts of whatever you want to do with it in the game, such as buying potions. We've talked about like maybe making updates, like making improvements to the actual world with glitter, like spending them on roads, which kind of ties into the guild channeling stuff.
Side note, I think something that'd be really cool is like district governance, mayors of districts, and decorating the roads and stuff. I think we've all some of us have talked a little bit about it in the random chats, but would be cool to elect somebody, some voting power in the district based on your land.
Yeah, I totally think so.
Guys, I also have to get going here pretty soon. I am going to do a shameless plug and drop the GMI Gitcoin grant in the chat. I'm pretty happy with this, Dan. This is like, as far as I know, it's the only Aavegotchi themed focused grant right now in the Gitcoin ecosystem. And so I do see it as a nice opportunity for exposure and just make sure that everyone knows. And again, open doors for GMI in general. It's not a closed group. We want as many individuals to get involved as well. And we're just here to help Pixelcraft spread the Gotchi gospel.
Yeah, definitely. I will. When's round 14 end?
This one's going to wrap up June 23rd, so we got plenty of time.
Okay.
We were ready this time.
Cool. Do they take ghosts? Be sweet if they did, but probably not.
Not yet, but that's a good angle we can start working. They are at least starting to do some of their burden load on Polygon, so they're closer to us than before.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely go and fund that.
Guys, I had fun doing the show earlier. Everyone have a good day. Enjoy your weekend.
Yep, I'm gonna sign off here too, friends. Have a good Sunday.
Take care, everybody.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
I got Harambe.lens, by the way, somehow. So followed
See you guys
Aavegotchi
tomorrow
already.
for the raffle reveal party. Later.
Bye.
Deuces.
Yeah, I guess we'll end off here. This was a good hangout, little screenplay. I dropped a link for the Substack too. I'll get a little summary up here for you. If anybody that missed it, you'll get an email. And I got nothing else going on this week. We got our other, usual programming on the weekends. And hope you all have a good week. I have nothing
Too, brother.
else. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the screenplay, and you guys all have a wonderful day.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I had a good time.
Thanks, you guys too. Have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow.
And in the name of the liquidators.
Stay lucky, everybody.
Later, friends.
Goodbye, old friends.